The college football season comes to an end tonight, as does the BCS era. Remember, next season begins the 4-team college football playoff, but we do have one final BCS championship game, Florida State and Auburn. Florida State a 10.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. 68 is the total here. Now, these teams had very different seasons. Florida State won every one of their games. They won all their games by 14 points or more, but they played nobody. Clemson was the only team on their schedule that's going to finish the season ranked in the top 25. And Clemson's a team that lost in their final regular season game to South Carolina. That game wasn't close. South Carolina won by 2 touchdowns. And South Carolina is probably the 5th or 6th best team in Auburn's conference, the SEC. So the Tigers faced a much tougher schedule, but they lost. They were beaten by 2 touchdowns by LSU, and 6 of their wins came by 8 points or fewer. So that's the reason for the double-digit number here. Florida State has won every one of their games in blowout fashion. And we've seen Auburn's flaws. Auburn's already lost once, and they've nearly lost several other games. But how good is Florida State really? I mean, hey, they might be the best team in the history of college football, or they might be a team that would go 8-4 in the SEC. We don't really know, and so this is a little bit of a guessing game here. For that reason, I don't feel comfortable about laying a double-digit number. Now look, Florida State could win this game, and they could win it big. They lead the nation in both points scored. They average 53 points a game, and points allowed. They only allow 10.7 points per game. But if you're going to pick out a weakness on that Florida State defense, it is the run defense. Undersized linebackers. Teams have had success, relative success, mind you. Again, Florida State only allows 10.7 points per game this season, so no real success. But teams have had some success running the ball right at Florida State, and Auburn can sure run the football. Tigers averaged 335 rushing yards per game this season. That led the nation. And again, they did play in the SEC, nation's toughest conference, the conference that is just filled with NFL talent. So Auburn can run the ball on anybody. They've shown that. I believe they're going to be able to run the ball on Florida State in this game tonight. That would make it very difficult for me to lay a double-digit number. I do like Auburn plus 10.5 in this situation. I'd be a little surprised if they pulled out the outright win, because Auburn's nearly lost several games. I mean, I've actually bet against Auburn several times this season. They've cost me some money. I've had to learn the hard way. And again, Florida State has been so good that I do expect them to win this game. But I think Auburn's going to keep it close. I think this one's going to be a little bit closer than most people think. Like Auburn plus 10.5. Also looking at under 68 with the month layoff. Just not sure if both offenses are going to be as in rhythm as they were towards the end of the regular season. So Auburn plus 10.5, under 68. What I'm looking at in tonight's BCS championship game. Good luck to you if you decide to get involved.